I'm from Wipro, and I'm working for the storage group that is there in Wipro for last 25 years. Today, mainly, I am just trying to explain a few insights about how our customers are mainly using this entire data cloud platform, which is spread across either AWS or Azure or GCP, or there are some other clouds also. So mainly from real use case perspective and from the customer perspective, how it's being used, what are the challenges, and how we are actually addressing those challenges. So that I'm going to present. So just before starting to that, a few of the highlights of our company. We are an engineering service provider for several years now. 25 years we are working for building storage system and storage products for various OEMs, and we worked for almost every OEM in this globe. So that's a background about the storage practice or storage group that we have. And also, I mean, we are also part of a lot of open source community who are focused on the storage open source activities. For example, SNIA, OpenStack, and various other Linux Foundation groups. And now we are an official member of OpenSDS. Okay, so directly jumping to the different challenges of customer challenges that we have seen so far during our various deployments across our customers who are spread across different domains. It's not like a single domain that they are operating. They are spread across domains like financial corporations, oil industry, energy industry, and many more. And as we are associated with these customers for a long time, and we are providing the service, so we have a very big portfolio of those customers who can use these cloud technologies, and for them we are trying to solve these problems. So here in this slide, I'm mainly trying to summarize the main cloud storage services that we have so far, and in which areas primarily we are using what, right? So as you can see, that public cloud is now widely used. Okay, even if you go back maybe 5 years or 10 years back, it was not that the adoption was not that good, and because of the security reasons, security concerns, then the availability part of it, performance part of it, these are the various concerns they had. But now you can think like in 2018, 19, and maybe in recent 4 or 5 years, I mean, the adoption of the public cloud is very good, right? So in public cloud, the first point I tried to put is the object storage, right? So there are various storage services, right? One is object storage, and a few of the names are like AWS S3, Azure Blob, and GCP, which is the Google public cloud, that is also having some object storage feature. So these are the object storage features which are used primarily for faster file operations. Okay, so what we are doing, I mean, when we are building solution for our customers, many times there are unstructured files like the image or some video files or maybe some raw binary files, right? So those files we are primarily storing into these object storage services. Okay, and that is the first part. Second part that I have pointed out here is that block storage part of it, which is, you can think about AWS EBS, Azure Disk Storage, etc. Right? So we are using these block storage services for deploying OS operating system. So for example, that our customers want to deploy a VM and they're trying to host Oracle or maybe some other database like MySQL or something, right? So when we are first installing the operating system where we are going to deploy Oracle for them, we are creating the VM on top of these elastic block storage or disk storage services, which is primarily a block storage, right? So that is the primary purpose of using block storage so far we have seen, right? And the third part that I tried to put here is that various storage classes are available. I mean, based on the storage class like SSD or HDD, the performance differs, right? I mean, SSD has a faster performance where HDD is not that high performing media. So based on the application type, what kind of application customer is trying to deploy, these storages are changed, right? So that means like if you want to really have a elastic block storage or I mean the block storage part of it, and you want to run a fast application like Oracle, right? You may have to go with a SSD kind of storage class, right? So these are the few areas of the public cloud which we are highly using. Then the second part is that I tried to put here is that Glacier, right? So that is actually a cold storage. So when we are designing our storage architecture for our customers, where the primary data is which is going to be need their faster access for their applications, right? That need a faster storage. Whereas when they are archiving the data over a period of time, maybe 3 months or 6 months down the line, when they don't need data, they are going to archive it, right? So that data we are pushing to these cold storage services like Glacier and so forth, right? So that's why it is widely used in the tiered storage architecture. So there are several tiers. We have almost used 2 to 3 tiers for our customer for many solutions. So that is one of the points. Another point that I have tried to put here is that private cloud. So we are seeing that the private cloud demand is slowly decreasing. People are not willing to invest much on the private cloud infrastructure, right? Which maybe if you go maybe 6-7 years back, it was not the story. When OpenStack was a very well adopted in the market, that time many people are trying to use OpenStack and create their own private cloud, right? So right now, as the public cloud features are, features like security and availability and performance has significantly increased and improved. So we are seeing that the usage of private cloud is reducing. Very few customers are really looking for a private cloud deployment, right? In that aspect, the usage of hybrid cloud is increasing drastically. So the primary reason for that is there are storage already in their on-prem, right? So that is holding a lot of data from several years. Now, they cannot just simply migrate the whole data to cloud storage, which could be costly for them because of their budget and all these things, right? So they are trying to integrate a hybrid cloud kind of solution for their on-prem and their cloud storage so that they can use the best of both the worlds, right? Still they don't really need to move their data to cloud, as well as they can start using the cloud gradually and slowly move to the entire application into the cloud. So these are the hybrid cloud usage. And then the last part is basically multi-cloud support. Many customers are looking for multi-cloud support because of various reasons. One usage we have seen is the compliance. Many customers are trying to use AWS, but due to geographic location and stuff like that, it's always not a very preferred way to go and use store the data in the AWS to a AWS data center, which is residing maybe in a different geographic location, right? So there are some compliance concerns from the customers, and that's why they are more intended to use multi-cloud. So that is one of the use cases that we are seeing so far. Okay, so this is a real use case that I tried to capture, which is the data protection part. There are many OEMs that we are working on now. Almost 2 to 3 OEMs that we are working on currently, who are working on a data protection solution use a hybrid cloud kind of environment. So what are the main things that they're trying to do? So one is that first point is the protecting on-prem data over cloud. That's what I already touched upon, that if somebody has a data in their on-prem, which is residing for almost several decades, they cannot directly move to the cloud, right? So, but those data slowly need to move and need to be protected, right? So their on-prem data is slowly going to move to cloud, and that's the reason our OEMs are trying to build solutions which will handle that, right? So that is first point. Second part is data protection for file and VM data. So the current trend or demand or from the most of the customer is primarily from the file perspective, store all the files to cloud. Protect those files to clouds. And as everybody is now using VMs, so they have the necessity to store the VM disk, vdisk, rather I can say, who knows the terminology, into the cloud. So that is another requirement, right? And their VMs are hosted into not only on VMware, it also they have Hyper-V. So and we have seen a few more VM virtualization platform as well. So that data from the VMware disk or the hypervisor disk need to be also migrated or protected to cloud. So this is another use case that we are seeing. Then the third point which I'm trying to put here is policy-based incremental backup, right? So these backups are happening based on certain policies which is configured. For example, the backup should happen in every 1 hour or so, right? And it should be stored into cloud for maybe 3 years, right? Maybe in the primary tier, right, or the first tier. Then it should move to the secondary, the cloud tier. The cold tier or the glacier part, right? So that is the policy that is configured, and policy-based backups are kind of a requirement nowadays, right? And the last part is the instant search and restore capability. So they also want that whenever they want those backup to be restored, they can search and they can restore it immediately. So these are the few very important features that every customer is looking for now, right? So this is the thing. And then obviously they are looking for multi-cloud support. So as their deployments are from in a multi-cloud environment, so kind of architecture like D2C or D2D or C2C, those kind of architecture they are asking to support, right? So that multi-cloud support is also one of the requirements for data protection. AI analytics, these are some of the features that slowly customers are looking for. Earlier, when we started maybe 2, 3 years, 4 years back with developing these systems for our customer, that was not the requirement. But now, as the systems has matured, so these are the requirements are coming up. And so there is one more thing that as the entire platform deployed into a cloud environment, right? I mean, the entire solution is there in the cloud environment. So we use containers in cloud to deploy our applications or other microservices, and that's why the maintenance cost for those applications, right, which is deployed into cloud, is less for the customer. They really don't need to do a lot of maintenance stuff like maintaining a separate hardware to deploy their application and then maintain it or stuff like that. So that is also has been significantly reduced, and the performance is also very good. So these are the this is some of the points from the real use case point of view that I have captured. These are some of the challenges that we have seen so far during our deployment, development, design that I have pointed out here. First point is that security and compliance. As I mentioned, like there are many scenarios we are seeing that the customer has really don't have. I mean, they are not aware of the security features that is currently available with public cloud, right? They're still concerned about the security. They want to have more encryption towards the data. They want to have a more secure channel for transferring the data. So this is one of the pain point for the customers and the challenges. Then there is one also about the cost factor. Cost is also increasing day by day as the volume of the storage is growing. And then this multi-cloud environment, right? There's no standardization. So each and every cloud has their own APIs and interfaces, which makes the cloud deployment and development much more time consuming. And then these on-prems are actually now need to be re-architected, because those on-prem solutions were not supporting cloud oriented adoption, right? So those new adapters need to be created to really transfer this on-prem data to cloud. Also the variable performance, the performance also varies based on cloud to cloud, which also makes some of the things difficult for us. And last point is the expertise point of view. We really don't have a lot of expertise in and around in different cloud architectures, which makes some of the things really challenging. Now, talking about the solution, I have only 2 slides here. How we are using OpenSDS, and these are the solutions that we are so far giving. First of all, we are developing hybrid cloud solution for them. So when they have the problem of increasing data in their on-prem, we have asked Beam to create the hybrid cloud solution, and we are doing for that. We have tools to automatically automate the compliance testing, security testing. So if there is a compliance problem, we have tools which will make sure that the compliance has been met and that has been communicated to the customer, right? And also we have now built up our own people with cloud expertise, so that we can leverage our internal resources entirely, not depending on the market supply. And also this this is fine. That fourth part we can ignore. That's okay. Okay. So just the last slide that I am going to touch upon is how we are trying to use OpenSDS. So few things that we are seeing that how we can use. One is definitely the multi-cloud adoption, right? So as the interfaces are different, so if OpenSDS is providing the standardization, that is one of the key things that we are looking for, and also that VM data accessibility, right? So if it is a VMware Hyper VM, then the APIs are different. If it is a Hyper-V, then it's different, right? So if there is a standardization for accessing those data, it will be really helpful for our customers and for us to designing those kind of systems, right? And also the compliance part of it. If there are some unified interface to test the compliant part of it across geography or something, that is also one of our key lookup from OpenSDS. Okay, so that's it from my side. I don't have much here.